A few episodes back, we spoke about carbon disc brake rotors. Now someone's made a full carbon jockey wheel and cage, and it could be yours for the small price of £295.50. $400.
I'll be honest, that price is lower than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, it's a bargain. Maybe we're our brains have just adjusted.
I would assume that a full carbon derailleur, cage and jockey wheels would be £1,000 plus. I'll let you go into the details though.
It's SRAM transmission, so this one fits an Eagle mountain bike mech or a mullet mech, and it weighs just 67.7 grams. And this is a thing that I would never like to put on my bike. Made by Hop Carbon Parts, run by a guy called
Christoph Hop.
Christoph Hop.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I messaged him and I asked him, how long does he estimate that this piece of equipment would last? Because I think carbon, equipment.
Wearables.
Yeah, exactly.
Wearables in carbon is just ludicrous.
Well, we made a video about things that should never be made of carbon fiber in the cycling world, and it's the guy we used for it, which is Rob from Carbon Bike Repair, basically went through a list of items, chain rings. It was all braking surfaces. It's always where it's rubbing.
Yep.
So that when there's movement, so if there's something rubbing against something else, it probably shouldn't be made of carbon. The jockey wheels rub against the chain.
Exactly. So my question to him was, how many miles do you estimate this will last? He said, good question. The cage and wheels are made of high-level fibres. The bearings are made of stainless steel with ceramic balls. There is nothing sensitive. 20,000 miles is no problem. With a good service and hot wax chain, 50,000 miles.
So what did Rob say when I messaged him?
He said, if it's traditional thermoset carbon fibre, which is, I think, the carbon fibre that most people think of, he'd be surprised if it lasted 100 miles. However, he also said he would be surprised if these people didn't know how abrasive thermoset carbon is. He said it could possibly be made of nylon thermoplastic, and if so, then the jury's out until he knows more, but he can tell you that this stuff is a game changer.
He got really excited talking about thermoplastic, nylon, carbon fiber, even frames, and he's seen some he went to a bike show and saw some technology and was like, this is the future. But he also said it's probably going to take a while for it to kick in the bike industry because all of the tooling and all the expertise and bike brands have set up making traditional carbon frames out of thermoset. The difference being the binding agent, basically. So sheets of carbon fiber is usually epoxy resin. Epoxy? How do you say that word?
Epoxy, I would say, but
once it's set, the compound then changes, and it's impossible. Well, I don't think it's impossible to recycle. It can be done, but it's like way too much effort, and no one does it. So if you break a carbon frame, hopefully you can get it repaired, but you can't recycle. You can't like break it back down and recycle it. Thermoplastic carbon fiber apparently can be recycled
because it's held in place by a polymer. And this polymer doesn't change properties when it's cured, and therefore it's reversible. It can be melted down, remolded, so it's recyclable. And also, by the sounds of it, way hardier.
Do you know what? Like, there's so many words here that I know, but in the way that we've just used those words, it's almost gibberish, isn't it? It doesn't really mean anything. It's like, so basically what we're saying is there's potentially a new material that's being used in the manufacture of presumably more things than just bikes that might actually be a game changer for the industry.
It always comes from aerospace first, doesn't it? And then it trickles down into bikes. Yeah.
I imagine they're also using it in Formula One and then cars and all of that kind of space. So maybe what we're going to see over the coming years is this different version of carbon being used, which is actually really, really, really good and incredibly durable.
Yeah, perhaps. I think it already has started to be used. Yeah, I imagine if you're in like the engineering space, you'd be like, oh, this has been around for ages. But yeah.
I am not, and neither are our listeners.
Yeah, totally, exactly. I also want to caveat this. I feel like we've gone in on this and we've tried so hard to research it and come with some knowledge that it actually sounds like we're advocating for it. It's still pretty much unneeded. It feels a bit like a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. You don't need this.
Well, you talking about thermoplastics?
Well, I'm just talking about jockey wheels and jockey cages being made out of complete
Oh,
carbon.
the actual product.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want that on my bike ever anyway.
Yeah, just because why? It's still 300 quid.
Well, this is where trickle-down technology might be interesting. If that actually legitimately lasts 50,000 miles, then it will be more durable than metals. So if the trickle-down technology makes that the same price as a metal, well, actually, it's got a metal bearing anyway, but I guess the plastic wearing out on the jockey wheels, if that is more durable than plastics, then, and it costs the same, excellent, amazing.
I would say I would not be willing to accept a claim of 20,000 miles or 50,000 miles without some proof.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And that's not saying I don't believe them. It's saying that my skeptical head says I would want some proof of that.
My first thought is I want us to get one and test it. But there isn't a scenario where any of us are going to be able to rack up 20,000 miles or even 50,000 miles on it in a small enough time that's worth making that video. By the time we finished it, bearing in mind we also have to do lots of other test rides and ride different things, etc., etc. By the time we'd actually hit that mileage, there's probably there's probably bikes made out of...
Flying cars.
Yeah, flying cars, flying bicycles.
Yeah, well, I mean, people ask why Benny hasn't shown up in many of the videos yet. It's because he's just out testing all of the stuff.
He actually powers our electric. He's just on a turbo right now. He's keeping the electric on for us.
Did you mention that you did email them and ask if it was thermoplastic and they said yes?
Yes.
But that was the whole email. Yes.
But I didn't mention it, but thank you for adding that as well. So according to them, huge if true.
I don't know if I believe it.
For context on the 20,000 miles claim, I asked Nick, the mechanic, friend of the channel, how long a standard jockey wheel would last. He said, it's a tough question. It depends on the brand and the conditions. Also, whether the bearings go or the teeth go. He said he goes through a set at least once a year with gravel, but he is stretching it. So more like 2 a year, realistically. So he would expect to be replacing twice a year.
I was going to say, that's basically the guy's claim on his carbon jockey wheels is longer than I ever get out of a set of jockey wheels.
I've never changed a set of jockey wheels.
That's why all your jockey wheels are star-shaped. It's like tiny, thin ones.
Maybe I should look at them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just completely smooth.
Yeah, it's quite an easy fix. My favourite thing is when you get a jockey wheel and it's so caked in dirt and you put a screwdriver and then twist the cranks and then it peels off a jockey worm of grease and then you eat it.
You know, you always complain about my howler being really sluggish. Maybe that's why.
It's just caked in jockey
Well,
worm.
no, I was thinking more that there's no teeth. So every pedal rotation is actually only turning the wheel like 20% of what that would be worth.
Okay. Yeah. Not sure it works like that, but okay.
I think you referenced it with Rob, though, one of Rob's quotes. And I think, like, we know that if that is made from traditional carbon fiber, it will last practically no time at all. So the best case scenario, if that isn't this more durable thing, is that 20 people buy it and then they go bust because no one ever wants to buy it again and they've made themselves a couple of quid. It's almost not worth it. So I would hazard a guess it is made from this new plastic carbon stuff, but still I don't want it. It's just unnecessary.
Yeah, fine. It's just an interesting looking thing.
There was proof as to how inappropriate these products are on GCN.
There was indeed.
Where they did their super, super light bike. It's actually a great video of them trying to break the record up Alpe d'Huez using a bike that weighed like 3.5 kilos. And it had a carbon chainring on, which in their test rides delaminated. They then put a carbon/alloy chainring on, which also delaminated.
Before the attempt. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare situation. I feel like they were teasing that challenge for like a couple of months as well.
Yeah.
They've gone to France with Andrew Feather, the hill climbing man, and they're about to do the attempt and then the bike breaks. So then he ended up on Ollie's bike.
Wrong size.
Wrong size. They went up the climb and then 2 kilometres from the top, they got stopped by a cheese festival that closed the road.
How did they not know this?
Hey, those French cheese festivals can be set up like that.
Are you
There's
telling
no
me
warning.
there wasn't any signage for cheese festival on whatever day?
Yeah, but it would be
day
in
was?
French, wouldn't it?
Sorry, Jimmy. I will not let you take any kind of moral high ground on this, because if we were doing that, that would absolutely be something we were caught out by as well. Like that is just like fluff up of the week.
We would have
territory.
been there to go to the cheese festival.
Homage de fromage.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
I stole that off something from Surbiton. If you watch the video, they get to the cheese festival. They then run up some stairs and then they carry on the effort. And I feel as if this is the difference between us and GCN. In like we would have stopped and eaten cheese and given up straight away. Would have been great.
I actually think that it worked out well for them, because you need a bit of drama and a bit of jeopardy in your videos, and I think it was the perfect jeopardy. It's a good video.
Can we go for the cheese festival?
Well, how will we know when it is if there's no signs?
We'll learn French.
Well, in the meantime,
We are on the subject of jockey wheels and weird things of that nature. One of our good pals, Chris Hall, who has just finished riding around the United Kingdom, has got his hands on, he actually posted a picture of it on Instagram, an aero aluminium jockey cage, derailleur cage from Kogel, which is some like bonkers aero fairing thingy-majiggy. And I was just wondering what we all thought about it.
it looks incredibly futuristic. It looks like it's from a time where cars are flying.
Do you not think with these cage add-ons that they never match the derailleur and it always just looks
They never look
weird?
better than the original derailleur.
No. And they never perform better.
Well, I know if you don't change gear, I'm sure they're more efficient. But the new SRAM one's got a big jockey.
It does
So
actually, yeah.
it's just
I
not for me.
I have to be honest, I do feel like Kogel is like a Joseph and Joseph. They love finding products for people to spend money on that want to spend money rather than looking for innovation.
Hey, Jimmy, there are a lot of people like that, I think. And also,
Well, yeah, I like Joseph and Joseph.
I want to make it clear that we're not taking the piss out of Chris here. I think he's just got it because it's just a cool, interesting thing to have a little go off for a little bit.
Well, yeah, if you know Chris, you'll know that he has a bazillion bikes that are so... He loves a niche bike setup. He's the king of the niche bike setup. So I'm sure when he saw this, he was going, oh, yeah. Like his around the UK bike has a sturdy titanium crank on it. So Sturdy's a titanium bike builder. He started making cranks, and I've never seen... It's just so odd to see a non-typical crank on a bike, and it being a bike manufacturer. It's like Rob Quirk designing a crank and then going, okay, put it on your bike. It is definitely niche, and it had a power meter on it as well. It's very cool.
Is it as nice as the frames?
Yes, it is properly good. It is. I really like the look of titanium cranks. Some of them look a bit up front, whereas Sturdy, his finish on everything is just, it's in a different league.